Is Walt Disney World getting too expensive for the average visitor? Well, today we're going to find out. Let's hop into it. Hello and welcome to the Parkhop. My name is Jacob. If you've ever sat down to plan a Walt Disney World vacation, you've probably had the same thought as the rest of us. This is really expensive. And it is. Even short trips can cost thousands of dollars, and the longer you stay or the bigger your family, the more expensive a Disney vacation can get. But with the price increases and added fees of the last several years, has Walt Disney World gotten too expensive? Well, that can be a difficult question to answer, and how you respond is going to differ based on your income, your budget, and what you and your family value the most. But I think the best way to make this determination is to look at how the cost and the value of a Walt Disney World vacation has changed over time and how that cost compares to the average family's household income. With that information, you and your family can then decide what works best for you now as opposed to in the years past, and how you can best prepare for your family's vacation. But first, let's go back in time. Walt Disney World opened to the public in October of 1971. At that time, amenities included the Magic Kingdom, the Contemporary Resort, the Polynesian Village Resort, and Disney's Fort Wilderness Campground. Ticket prices back then were a now laughable $3.50 per person. But before you begin to lament the good old days, remember that Disney's ticket structure was entirely different back then. While individual ticket prices used to be cheaper than what you could probably get a soda for today, you also had to purchase various ride tickets for each level of attraction you wanted to ride. This is where the term e-ticket attraction came from, referring to the most popular or most grandiose attractions in the Magic Kingdom. All of this changed with the addition of EPCOT in 1982. It was then that Disney went to a general admission ticket that allowed guests to ride as many attractions as they would like for a single fee. It's also the year that Disney introduced multi-day passports, or what we would now call park hoppers, and these would allow guests to hop between different parks on the same day. And so, 1983 was the first full year of operation for multiple parks at Walt Disney World, the first full year without ride tickets, and the first full year for multi-day tickets with park hopping privileges. And that's what makes it the first year available to compare to current day prices as we learn how the cost of a Disney World vacation has changed over its history. In 1983, Ronald Reagan was president. Every Breath You Take by The Police was the #1 song. Mortgage rates were 12.5%, yikes, and the median household income was $24,580. Also in 1983, a one-day general admission ticket at Walt Disney World would cost $15 for adults and $12 for kids under 12. A 3-day passport would set you back $35 and $28 respectively, and a 6-day passport, hold on to your wallets kids, was a whopping $43 for adults and $33 for kids. Now you might say, Jacob, that sounds cheap, but inflation, right? That's probably the same as today's prices. Well, to find out, we have to do math, and while we won't be using the rate of inflation, we will be looking at what families have spent over time as a percentage of their income. Ready? That one-day ticket that you bought for $15 in 1983 equated to about 0.061% of your likely household income. Now jump ahead to 2019 when the median household income is $63,688. If you multiply $63,688 by 0.00061, representing the percentage of household income spent on a one-day Disney ticket in 1983, you'll find what that one-day ticket would cost today if the percentage of income spent on the ticket remained the same over time. Make sense? So what's the answer? $38.87. That's right, if a one-day ticket costs the same today as in '83, you'd pay less than $39 in today's money. So what does a one-day ticket cost today? Well, depending upon when you go, anywhere from $109 to $159, and that means that this ticket actually costs a family 3 to 4 times more than it did in 1983. And if you're wondering about the passports, which are the equivalents to today's park hoppers, doing similar math shows that 1983 prices translated to today would amount to purchasing a 3-day park hopper for just over $90 and a 6-day park hopper for just over $111. Tickets that currently sell for between $381 and $685. Now, hotel prices have increased as well, but not quite at the same rate. A tower room at the Contemporary or a room at the Polynesian would have run you about $125 a night in 1983, and applying those 1983 prices to today's money gives us a nightly rate of around $324. Actual prices for those rooms start around $550 today and go up from there seasonally or based on how crowded everything is. Now, the point of all of this is not to shame Disney for increasing their prices so drastically, nor is it to make you question how you spend your money. Disney's a business and a public one, and its primary goal is just to make money for its shareholders. Moreover, as something becomes more popular, it becomes more valuable. Walt Disney World crowds these days can be massive. On a peak day at the Magic Kingdom, there can be over 100,000 people in the park. Add to that the fact that there's far more to do now at Walt Disney World than there was in 1983. And while I'd love to pay a mere $38 to get in, the already huge crowds would be unbearable if the tickets were that cheap. I mean, if this is what it looked like on a typical Wednesday, can you imagine if the tickets were only $38? Instead, we're talking about this to confirm the fact that yes, a Walt Disney World vacation is much more expensive than it used to be. Not in just actual dollars, but as a percentage of income. Families that used to go every year might not be doing that anymore. They might be making other sacrifices to keep that tradition going if they do. So what does a typical Walt Disney World vacation cost these days? Well, let's take a look at what a typical family of 4 might spend when visiting the happiest place on Earth. We know from research studies that most people choose to fly rather than drive on a typical vacation, and the average domestic airfare after fees is around $360, which is actually considerably cheaper than it was in the 1980s. So our hypothetical family will spend around $1,440 on airfare. Because our family is looking to have a complete Disney experience, they won't be renting a car, and they'll be using Disney's Magical Express to get to their moderate resort, Disney's Port Orleans Riverside. They'll be visiting during the summer season, and they're going to pay about $272 per night after tax. They're arriving on Sunday and leaving on Saturday, so a 6-night stay will run them $1,632. Our family of 4 is planning on spending 4 days in the parks, but would like to be able to park hop during their trip. Their kids are 10 and 6, so they'll need 3 adult tickets and 1 child ticket for a total of $2,181 after tax. They're not getting the dining plan, but they're going to be budgeting about $200 a day for food for a total of $1,400. Throw in $40 per person for souvenirs, and you'll add $160. So when you include airfare, hotel, tickets, food, and souvenirs, this 7-day vacation is going to cost this family of 4 $6,813. Knowing that the median household income is $63,688, that means that our hypothetical family, were they to make the median income, would spend about 10.5% of what they made on their vacation. So is that too expensive? Well, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says that the average family spends about 5% of their annual income on entertainment. This includes vacations, but it also includes things like going out to a movie or dinner, going to a sporting event, or other things. And while the majority of families don't take any trip out of town at all, those who do spend an average of $4,800 a year on their vacation. So this rather modest, compared to many, Walt Disney World vacation seems to be definitely more expensive than both the average vacation for a family of 4, as well as more expensive than the total entertainment budget for most American families. But is it too expensive? Well, that's really a question that each person's going to have to answer for themselves. But if you and yours lean towards answering yes, that doesn't mean that you have to swear off Walt Disney World forever. I know a lot of people that used to go every year, and now they go every 2 or 3 years, and it allows them to save up their money for a longer period of time. And it might actually help them appreciate the trip a little bit better when they go. I know people who have decided to stay off property more often, where there are some really great hotels at some really great prices, believe it or not. I know people that have decided to spend less time in the parks and more time at their hotel or elsewhere on property where there are some great, free or inexpensive things to do. Some people are finding unique ways to earn money for their trip. I was just at a garage sale where the money that they earned was going to give them a few $100s towards their Walt Disney vacation. Yes, Disney is expensive. And yes, it's considerably more expensive than it has been at any point in history. Whether or not it's too expensive is a determination that you and your family are going to need to make for yourselves. But regardless of the price increases, the crowds keep coming. And there's no sign of the crowds or prices shrinking at Walt Disney World anytime soon. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification icon. And if you have some creative ways that you save up money for Walt Disney World, let us know in the comments down below so we can talk about it. Until next time, I'm Jacob, reminding you to gather your belongings, watch your head and step, and take all small children by the hand.